can keep a steady workforce going. And if they do the mass deportations like they say they will, um, yeah, good luck with finding anything cheap or anything, but it's those prices. It's those prices. Miss Apple, thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming on. Chocolate Pearl said she wasn't feeling her best, so come on. How are you doing this evening, Miss Apple?
I'm good. Sorry I'm late. I was a little caught up with something, but I'm here. I know I didn't make it last week because I was actually working the polls for this
No, that's yeah, that
so-called
was a thankless
election.
job. That was definitely definitely that had to be a definitely hard. So what did you think about not the election, but how the vote was tabulated? Because you're in New York and y'all have a pretty decent turnout.
It was surprising. This was my first year ever working, being a poll worker, and we're you're not supposed to look to see how, people vote. But sometimes when you need to help like the elderly or someone that's, don't know what they're doing, you get a glance at, because we did paper votes and then you fed it into a computer, a machine, and some people needed help with that. So if you know how to read, you automatically, your eyes are going to read what's on the paper. And a surprising amount of immigrants voted red. A
Well,
surprising amount of black men in that district voted red.
I know you
And
couldn't ask, but why do you think that was?
I think they just believe the propaganda. I can't even imagine, or it could be the misogynoir. Like, black women are the most, I don't want to say hated, but I've said it before on this podcast. The most hated, the most disrespected, the most mistrusted, but we the ones that show up the most, but we don't get any respect. And
Yeah,
I think, and somebody actually told me that she wasn't qualified. But if you look at the history of this country, she's the sole person that served in every three branches of government.
and you got to also think that she had the governmental experience to do the job.
Right,
Now,
but they have it in their head because one, she's a woman and she's a woman of color, that that she wasn't experienced enough for this position. But like I said, she worked in all three branches of government.
and she
Not
worked
one other person that president, past or present, can say that.
and she also worked at every level from local to national. So yeah,
To
no, I
national, right? So I mean, how much
got
more
you.
experience do you need? But
Well,
that was the consensus, that she didn't have an experience, she wasn't ready. How much more ready can you get if you have all it? She has over, I want to say, 30 years of experience. She's in her 60s. Well, she's almost 60.
no,
So
she just turned 60. She just turned 60.
whereas, he had the 4 years, but prior to that, he wasn't in government at all.
Right. And that's the thing that's so it doesn't matter. So basically, here's what people who voted for him basically told the rest of us. Don't care. We don't care about racism. We don't care about sexism. We don't care about ageism. We don't care about getting allegedly, well, mishandling classified information. He did that, and we don't care if he allegedly gave some state secrets to a foreign government. That's allegedly. I can't say that's true because it hasn't been proven. But none of that matters. And it's not even about the gas prices because the gas price is going down. It's not really about inflation, but because inflation is going down. It's it's that. So knowing, I talked to your daughter quite a bit about um, having children and things like that. What do you think she thinks about um, after the election, what do you think she thinks about how things have been laid out with respect in the dating market, knowing that if she's in a blue state, so that probably she'll probably be able to get the health care she needs. But if she moved to somewhere like Georgia or South Carolina, or Florida, what do you think her dating options would be if she wanted to see young man to and possibly have a child?
You know what she said, and it made me sad on a whole nother level. She said she gave up on black men after this election
Well,
because all of the black men her age, she's 21, she just turned 21, they were pro Trump. And she said she can't see herself having children or settling down with someone that, that's against everything that she believes morally. And it's sad because, I don't want her, to just marginalize herself to one group of men or whatever. But she
that's
says
the
she's
but
done
here's
with black men, and
but here
it's sad. And a lot of
yeah,
girls her age feel that way.
but you have to look at it like this. In the environment of where you live, the quality of men would that would probably have more education, two, a bigger worldview, and three, have the ability to form coherent sentences. Um,
This is true.
Unfortunately, and you already know in NYCHA, they don't make them like they used to.
This is true.
They don't make them like they used to because
One young man that she was seeing, he actually, is in college and he's trying to do, better than his circumstances. But he was another one. He was adamant about it. And this was a lot of them, this was their first time voting in a major election or any election. You wouldn't believe how many people, Gen Xers, this is their first time voting and they voted
Gen
red.
Z, we're Gen X.
No, I'm just saying it was Gen Z's first election, but how many Gen Xers never voted prior to this election just so they can vote against a black woman or, a woman of color?
Like I said, it's what you realize is the bigger your worldview, the less likely you are to vote conservative. If if that's all you've been in one place, you're going to be conservative because that's all you see. The more a
I
lot of
w-
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I wasn't really worried about New York because New York is always going to be a blue state, no matter how many people vote red. We're a
Mhm.
little more progressive in thinking than the average like Southerner. I know that sounds horrible, but it's true. In my experience, it's true.
Right.
But it's just, places like Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, they're really red states. And if it was like a normal Republican ticket, then I can understand you voting that. But
But they didn't want them. They didn't want them normal. That's
right. And
Trump.
it's just
Trump is
and
normal. So
normal now, right? And that's the sad part. And they're worried about a lot of people that I spoke to. They were worried about she wouldn't be strong enough, you know, to lead this country. And I asked them, I said, well, in most homes, whether black, white, Latina, whatever, the woman really runs the home.
Thanks for watching. This is the man with the golden voice, the lady's choice, and of course, smooth as a Rolls Royce, saying, never make love by the garden gate, though love is blind, the neighbor's ain't.